Scene script. Have you ever wondered how education can be a catalyst in achieving sustainable development goals? Indeed, the role of education extends far beyond the confines of a classroom. Education is not merely a process of acquiring knowledge. It's a powerful tool that can shape the world, drive progress, and foster sustainable development. Let's take a moment to dive into the importance of education in achieving the Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs, set forth by the United Nations. These 17 goals aim to create a better and more sustainable future for all, touching on global challenges like poverty, inequality, climate change, and more. But amidst all these, one goal stands out, and that's goal number 4, quality education. Quality education is not just a goal in itself, it's a crucial instrument for achieving all other sustainable development goals. But why is that? Well, education, particularly one that fosters critical thinking, equips individuals with the capacity to innovate, make informed decisions, and solve complex problems. This, in turn, enables them to contribute effectively to sustainable development. Consider, for instance, the challenge of climate change. Without a solid foundation of knowledge and understanding about the environment, how can we expect people to make sustainable choices in their daily lives or support policies that protect our planet? Or let's look at the goal of reducing inequality. Through education, we can promote understanding, tolerance, and inclusivity, thereby contributing to a more equitable society. Moreover, education has a profound impact on economic growth. It enhances productivity, fosters innovation, and fuels economic development, thereby playing a pivotal role in eradicating poverty and promoting decent work for all. But remember, not just any education will do. It's the kind of education that encourages critical thinking, promotes creativity, and nurtures a sense of responsibility towards our planet and its inhabitants. So, education is not just a goal in itself, but a key tool in achieving all other sustainable development goals. It's the backbone of the SDGs. It's the light that illuminates the path to a sustainable future, and it's time we recognize and harness its potential. But what kind of education are we talking about? Is it just about literacy and numeracy? Well, not quite. The real essence of education goes beyond just reading, writing, and arithmetic. A crucial element often overlooked is critical thinking. But what exactly is it? Critical thinking refers to the ability to objectively analyze and evaluate information, to form a reasoned judgment. It involves questioning ideas, assumptions, and beliefs, looking at them from different angles and seeking evidence to support them. It's about being an active learner rather than a passive recipient of information. Now, you might be wondering, why is critical thinking so important in education? Well, in our fast-paced, complex world, being able to understand and navigate through layers of information is essential. It helps individuals to understand complex problems, to make informed decisions, and to contribute to sustainability. Imagine a student learning about climate change. With critical thinking skills, they can delve deeper into the issue, understand its root causes, evaluate different solutions, and even come up with innovative ideas to combat it. They become not just consumers of knowledge, but creators and contributors. Moreover, critical thinking fosters curiosity, creativity, and independence. It empowers students to challenge the status quo, to be solution-oriented, and to contribute to a sustainable future. It cultivates a generation of thinkers, innovators, and change-makers. In the context of sustainable development goals, an education that fosters critical thinking is even more crucial. It equips individuals with the tools to understand, question, and address the complex challenges that our world is facing. They can actively participate in creating a sustainable, inclusive, and equitable world. So education is not just about imparting knowledge, but about shaping minds, nurturing thinkers, and creating responsible global citizens. It's about preparing students for a world that is yet to be created, for jobs that don't yet exist, and for problems that we don't yet know will arise. Critical thinking, therefore, is an essential skill that education should aim to develop. To better understand this, let's examine a case study: the Green School in Bali. Nestled amid the lush, verdant landscapes of Bali, Indonesia, is a school unlike any other. The Green School, as it is aptly named, is a beacon of innovation in education, illuminating the path towards sustainable development through its unique curriculum centered around two fundamental principles: critical thinking and sustainability. The Green School's curriculum is intelligently designed to foster critical thinking skills in its students. The traditional model of education, where students are passive recipients of knowledge, is replaced by a more dynamic, interactive approach where students become active participants in their learning journey. This is achieved through innovative teaching methods that encourage students to question, analyze, and evaluate information rather than simply absorb it. One such method is project-based learning, where students are tasked with real-world challenges and they must use their critical thinking skills to devise solutions. This not only helps students to understand complex concepts in a more practical, hands-on way, but also prepares them for the challenges they might face in the real world. The Green School also places a strong emphasis on sustainability, integrating it into every aspect of its curriculum. From the bamboo classrooms that blend seamlessly with the surrounding environment to the organic gardens tended by the students, the Green School is a living, breathing testament to the principles of sustainable development. Student-led projects are a key component of the Green School's approach to sustainability education. These projects range from organic farming and renewable energy initiatives to waste management and water conservation efforts, each designed to address a specific environmental issue. Through these projects, students not only learn about the principles of sustainability, but also get to apply them in a real-world context, thereby gaining a deeper understanding and appreciation for the importance of sustainable development. The outcomes of the Green School's approach to education are nothing short of remarkable. Its students are not only academically proficient, but also environmentally conscious, socially responsible, and adept at critical thinking. They are the change makers of tomorrow, equipped with the knowledge, skills, and mindset needed to make a positive impact on the world. The Green School's success serves as a powerful testament to the transformative potential of education when it is designed to foster critical thinking and promote sustainable development. It is a shining example of how education can be a powerful tool in shaping the minds of the next generation, nurturing them to become not just successful individuals, but also responsible global citizens. As we can see, the Green School's approach to education fosters critical thinking, which in turn contributes to sustainable development. So how exactly does education that promotes critical thinking contribute to sustainable development? Well, let's start by looking at poverty. Education is a powerful tool to combat poverty. Studies have shown that each additional year of schooling increases a person's earnings by up to 10%. When we consider that globally, over 200 million people could escape extreme poverty if they left school with basic reading skills, the impact of education becomes clear. But it's not just about economic growth. Education also plays a critical role in improving health outcomes. For example, mothers who have received education are more likely to have healthier babies and are less likely to contract HIV. Their children are also more likely to attend school, creating a positive cycle of education and health improvements for future generations. The benefits of education also extend to environmental sustainability. Education, especially when it fosters critical thinking, can help individuals understand the complex issues that surround climate change, deforestation, and biodiversity loss. It empowers them to make informed decisions that respect and protect our planet. Yet, the magic happens when education is not just about imparting knowledge, but also about developing critical thinking skills. This kind of education encourages students to ask questions, to challenge assumptions, and to seek out their own solutions. It equips them with the tools they need to tackle the world's most pressing problems, from poverty and inequality to climate change and beyond. So what's the bottom line? Education, particularly education that promotes critical thinking, is a powerful tool for sustainable development. It can drive economic growth, improve health outcomes, and protect our planet. But perhaps most importantly, it can empower individuals to create their own solutions to the world's most pressing problems. And this is why we must prioritize education, particularly the kind that promotes critical thinking in our pursuit of sustainable development. It's not just about achieving Goal 4 of the Sustainable Development Goals, it's about laying the foundation for all other goals. Education, particularly one that promotes critical thinking, has a far-reaching impact on sustainable development. Given these benefits, it's clear that there's a need for a shift in education. Today, let's take a moment to discuss the current state of education and why we need to steer it towards the cultivation of critical thinking. Education, as we know it today, is often criticized for being too focused on rote memorization and standardized testing, leaving little room for students to develop their critical thinking skills. In many classrooms worldwide, students are taught to absorb and regurgitate information without being encouraged to question, analyze, or interpret it. This traditional approach to education, while effective in some respects, does not necessarily prepare our youth for the complex, rapidly changing world they will inherit. The challenges we face in implementing this shift are not insignificant. Altering the course of an established system is no easy task. It requires a change in mindset at every level, from policymakers and educators to parents and students. It's not just about introducing new teaching methods or revising curriculums, but about fostering a culture that values critical thinking and encourages curiosity, creativity, and independent thought. The barriers to this shift may seem daunting. However, we must remember that the stakes are high. The world is facing pressing challenges, from climate change and inequality to technological disruption, that require innovative solutions and informed decision-making. Our ability to navigate these challenges and achieve sustainable development goals hinges on the next generation's capacity to think critically. So how do we make this shift happen? We start by acknowledging the need for change and recognizing the value of critical thinking in education. This involves creating a dialogue around these issues and advocating for policy reforms that prioritize the development of critical thinking skills in our education systems. We also need to invest in teacher training to equip educators with the tools and techniques they need to foster critical thinking in their classrooms. This could include introducing problem-solving exercises, encouraging open-ended discussions, and promoting active learning strategies that engage students in the learning process. Moreover, we need to redefine our measures of success. Instead of relying solely on standardized test scores, we should consider a more holistic approach that takes into account a student's ability to think critically, solve problems, and adapt to new situations. Lastly, we need to involve students in this process. After all, they are the ones who stand to benefit the most from this shift. By giving them a voice, we can ensure that our efforts to transform education are not only effective, but also responsive to their needs and aspirations. In order to achieve sustainable development goals, education needs to evolve and prioritize the development of critical thinking skills. This is not just a shift in education, but a shift towards a more sustainable, equitable, and resilient future. And it's a future that we all have a stake in shaping. As we've seen, education plays a crucial role in achieving sustainable development goals. It's the golden thread that weaves through every aspect of sustainable development, from poverty reduction to gender equality, from decent work and economic growth to reduced inequalities. In fact, All other sustainable development goals hinge on the achievement of Goal 4, quality education and lifelong learning opportunities for all. Throughout this video, we've discussed how education, especially the kind that promotes critical thinking, is the backbone of the Sustainable Development Goals. It's not just about learning facts and figures, but about understanding the complexities of our world and the consequences of our actions. It's about fostering curiosity, creativity, and a spirit of inquiry. It's about empowering individuals to make informed decisions that benefit not only themselves, but also the world around them. We've also taken a look at the Green School in Bali, a shining example of how educational institutions can inspire and nurture the next generation of sustainable leaders. The Green School showcases the power of education to drive positive change, not only in the lives of its students, but also in the local community and beyond. Furthermore, we have delved into the impact of education on sustainable development goals. We've seen how educated individuals are more likely to be economically productive, participate in the political process, and contribute to the health and well-being of their communities. We've also seen how education can help to break the cycle of poverty, reduce inequalities, and promote social cohesion. Despite these benefits, we also discussed the need for a shift in our education systems. It's not enough to simply impart knowledge. We need to cultivate critical thinking skills, foster a sense of global citizenship, and promote sustainable development as a core value in our classrooms. This requires a commitment from all stakeholders, from policymakers and educators to parents and students themselves. So, as we conclude, let's not forget that the power to shape our future lies in our hands. By prioritizing education, especially the kind that promotes critical thinking, we can empower individuals, transform communities, and build a more sustainable world. But this requires action. It requires us to rethink our education systems, to challenge the status quo, and to work together towards a common goal. Remember, education that promotes critical thinking is not just about creating knowledgeable individuals, but also about building a sustainable world. So how will you contribute to this goal?